वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. This is indeed a beautiful portion of the entire Bhagavad Gita, where sadhakas get concrete guidance on meditation. Meditation is a word that is extensively used all over the world, and everybody says he or she is meditating, but God knows what meditation they are doing. And what is worse, when you see some people who say they are meditating regularly, you do not see in them any kind of spiritual maturity. How can meditation and worldliness be together? They can be together only when, as you will see, the guidance by Sri Krishna is not followed. We do only what is convenient to us. We compartmentalize meditation and we do whatever we feel like doing at other time of the day, of the week, and so on. Then of what use is meditation? Therefore, even though it is good to sit for a while in the morning, in the evening, and so on, real meditation is what should make a difference in the entire day. Therefore, there are many lofty thinkers who even criticize what they call conscious meditation, sitting down, going by a method, and keeping certain time limit, and so on. They say that cannot take you far. If you want to go far, if you want your spiritual practices to really change you, make others feel the change about you, in you, then there has to be an alertness and a righteous living that is through the day, 24/7, as the expression goes. We saw in the 14th verse, which we covered in the last class, Lord Krishna in these 23 verses giving guidance on so many gross and subtle aspects of meditation. What we saw in the 14th was about living in self-control, and 13th was about concentrating on tip of one's own nose, where we hasten to clarify, following Shankara Bhāshya, that this concentrating on tip of the nose is a piece of advice on the way, so to say, not the final one. A seeker may concentrate on one's tip of nose or at the midpoint of the eyebrows, or somebody may concentrate on a little lotus in one's own heart. Welcome. But Adi Shankara made a remark, which we actually read out also. If concentration on the nose were to be very central to this meditation, then one would get absorbed in that visualization. One would not anchor oneself in the pure self. Therefore, some supports may be taken on the way, but down the road, one will have to go for contemplation on the pure self as given by the Upanishads. I am unborn. I do not die. I have no need to become something. I don't have to be wealthy. I don't have to be famous. I don't have to be popular. I don't have to have the so-called best physical health. In this way, one has to contemplate and let go of one's anxiety about the body and the mind. The best part is when you no more want the best health, you will have the best health. When you are anxious about best health and do many things which many people ask you to do, then your health suffers. Many wise guides on wellness these days acknowledge that inner peace is so crucial to good health. You have certain inner peace. And from a spiritual point of view, that is possible when you don't have silly desires. Let go of your desires for yourself. Serve people, be good to people. Do your duties. What your conscience says is your duty, do that duty. Because desire prompted action is not duty. Duty is many times where we don't want to do. We want to do something else, where there may be some temporary gratification. In duty, many times there is, at least superficially, nothing that you get. You have to do it, you do it. And it is said that some corrupt officers don't do anything for their clientele or for the people. And they ask the question, why should I do anything for this person who has a grievance? If it is said it's your duty, no, he must give me something. Corrupt people, expect gratification. But if it's told you get salary for what you are doing, they say that should not be counted. That is corruption. Likewise now, if we do our duty, there is no question of expecting some out of the way rewards. Do your duty, and really speaking, doing our duty without worrying about rewards is a great purifier. And when the mind is pure, there is a certain natural peace. When there is this natural inner peace, you will sleep well. You will spend the day also with certain good energy, good loving sentiments in your heart. You will be understanding, broad-minded. You will not speak irresponsibly. You will not criticize, find fault with X or Y. You mind your business. Then experts on wellness say that is the greatest key to wellness. In contrast, if you are living in contradictions, your desires are like wild horses running in different directions, you have no peace inside you, but you swallow these tablets and that Ayurvedic medicine, this homeopathy balls, and you are doing so many things, and somebody tells you eat this every morning, drink a lot of hot water, do it, and you are trying to do all those. But you are emotionally unwell, you are morally messed up, then all these will not help much. Therefore, what can be said about true wellness actually applies very well to meditation. When meditation happens more and more naturally, as the fragrance of right living, that is true meditation. So let's see now, going further, what Sri Krishna says in the next verse. Adi Shankara connects us to the next verse, saying, Atha idanim, then at this point, yoga phalam uchyate. Phalam, the meditation's result. Phalam is what we gain through meditation. Yoga here stands for meditation. Let's read the 15th shloka. युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमां मत्संस्थाम् अधिगच्छति. युञ्जन् एवं ध्यानं कुर्वन्. In this way, living a righteous life with great awareness, one follows certain tips on how to sit, where to concentrate, etc. Sri Krishna is never tired of saying again the important points. Niyatamanasah. Have your mind under your control. People say, that's what I'm asking you. How do I get mind control? My mind wanders everywhere. Wait a minute. When your mind is wandering, what is your attitude to that wandering? Do you encourage, or do you just keep quiet? Or do you exercise some self-control, withdrawing the mind? The least you could do is not to encourage the mind, to say to the mind, no, I won't come with you. You may want to go to Singapore, Hong Kong. You may want to go to Japan, Germany. Oh mind, you want to go to all these places. I am not coming with you. So refusal to come, to accompany the mind. I have dramatized it as though mind is another person, but what is meant is you actually keep a little distance from your own mind's pranks. That is niyatamanasa. You don't have to control the mind with some kind of force. Just to be intelligent enough not to follow the mind wherever it wants to take you. Sri Krishna promises us, if in this way you handle your mind with maturity, Shantim, you will get peace, Nirvana Paramam, peace that has liberation at its extreme possibility. It can take you all the way to Nirvana, Mat Samstham, and that is where I always am. Mat Samstha, my state, Adhigachati. I am always fearless, always at peace. I am always naturally master of situations. You seem to be so much at the mercy of situations. You can change, and Bhagavad Geetā is all about helping us change in a healthy, desired direction. Mat Sanstha Adhigachati. So, what is Yunjan? The very first word, Bhashyakara says, Samadhanam Kurvan. One possibility is the mind goes in 10 directions, whereas Yunjan refers to our bringing the mind to one point, calming the mind. In some of our Indian languages, Samadhana is used even in the sense of consoling. Somebody is agitated because of a certain death in the family or because of some big financial loss. We go to that person and console him. In some of the Indian languages, that is also called Samadhana, Shanti Samadhana. He gets some peace after listening to us. She gets some peace after we sit a little while with her. So, otherwise, the literal meaning of Samadhana, to begin with, it has other meanings, but primary meaning is collecting, bringing everything together. The scattered mind is to be brought to one point. Samadhanam kurvan. In this way, Yunjan evam. Evam means yatoktena vidhanena. Sada. Sri Shankaracharya picks up word by word from the shloka of Bhagavad Gita. Sada is the word from the Gita. And he says, Atmanam picks up another word, Yogi Niyatamanasa. The meditator is rightly called Yogi. I am saying rightly because, as we already explained, meditation is not a compartmentalized matter. Meditation actually pervades through the 24 hours of your life. Thus, you better call that person who is meditating a yogi, for from that narrow angle of view of the half an hour when you sit for the so-called meditation, you are a dhyata. Dhyata means one who does dhyana. But because your your outlook, your understanding is not about that half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening. Your understanding is about right living. Then you are a yogi. The word yogi has in its significance, relevance and connection to entire life. Yogi niyatamanasah, niyatam sanyatam manasam manaha yasya saha. Yes, that's how a compound is explained. Niyata manasa has two parts, niyata and manasa. And it refers to a person whose manasa, the mind, is niyata, controlled. Somebody of controlled mind is niyata manasa. Shantim, Shanti also has an interesting etymological or basic meaning. Shanti, the verbal form is shamyati. Something that is disturbed slowly settles down. That is called shamyati. Shantam bhavati. Shanti is thus uparati. Shankaracharya gives the synonym in this context. Uparati. You see, rati means going out, enjoying something, or suffering something. If we are unlucky, we go out to enjoy but end up suffering. But uparati is we don't go out at all. On the contrary, we withdraw. The mind started thinking of money. We said we will look into it later. Now come back. Uparati. Within a few seconds, the mind thinks about some guests that are coming next week. Again, you withdraw your mind. We will take care of those guests. This is not the time for you to think about it, oh dear mind. Withdraw, uparati. And that can take us, especially when you have been studying Vedanta. Without Vedanta study, if you meditate, you may go some distance, that's it. Then you hit a blank wall. In contrast, informed, well informed by the Vedanta study, when you go for meditation, sky is the limit to where you can reach. Nirvana parama. Nirvanam here means moksha. Because vana means the blowing of the winds called desire. Nirvana becomes nirvana. So no more personal desires are like wind blowing in the consciousness of yours. There are no personal desires. You come to know somebody got a trophy. In the olden days, you would have been a little agitated. I did not get it. How did she get it? Why did she get it? And so on. You come to know somebody went on a 7-nation tour, 7 countries in 11 days. Wow. How come my spouse and I haven't been like that for a long time? The tour we took was 10 years ago, and so on. This, I should get this. I should have this. If somebody is enjoying, I should enjoy. Somebody is honored by the state government. Somebody is invited by the governor of the state for a breakfast with him or her. So there are a million things that happen in the world where normally our mind wishes that we had that pleasure, that privilege, that honor, that felicitation, and so on. That is called vana. In Sanskrit, if you want to say wind blows, the expression is vayuhu vati. Vayuhu, wind, vati means blowing, the breeze. Vana is the noun. Nirvana then becomes nirvana. Nirvana is the winds of personal desire, personal regrets have stopped blowing. You come to know somebody enjoyed life in a certain way. You smile at it and you are happy for him. You are happy for her, but you don't need. Whether you have enjoyed it or you have never enjoyed it, that's not the issue at all. If you say, oh, we also enjoyed it many times, it's not necessary that you already have enjoyed. Without even, after all, what are they? In a generic sense, pleasures of the world have both the high and the low. So, in the 5th chapter we saw, the previous chapter, it was said, those enjoyments which have a beginning and an end typically lead to sorrow. Dukkayonaya evate adyantavantaha kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha yehi samsparshaja bhoga. There was a powerful verse. So moksha is when you are alert, you are very much aware, you have not lost your intelligence, you have not lost your heads, your head is very much above your shoulders, but there is no personal desire. Nirvanam ataha mokshaha. Tat nirvanam paramanishta yasyaha shantehe sa nirvana parama. Sanskrit permits such adjectives made of two words, nirvana and parama. Together they are an adjective to shanti. That shanti which has moksha as its peak, as the acme, as the zenith of where this shanti takes you. Therefore, it is not some ayaram gayaram shanti. Came and went. No, it stays with you. Mat sanstam madadhinam adhigacchati. Therefore, the peace that I possess, the peace where I am always standing, will be yours too, Arjuna. Please meditate. Be a yogi. Do not be a bhogi. Do not be a rogi. Right? Bhogi, one who is always seeking enjoyments, never at peace with oneself. Rogi, excessive bhoga leads to various diseases. Bhoga and roga. Sukataha kriyate rama bhogaha paschadhanta sharire roga, says Bhajagovindam. Mindlessly we enjoy sense objects and we end up in various disorders of the body and the mind. Vedanta is never against enjoyment as such, but that doesn't mean that we should mindlessly enjoy, thoughtlessly enjoy. We should eat in excess, we should talk in excess, etc. We should avoid excess everywhere. And Sri Krishna says exactly that in the next shloka. The next shloka, number 16, can be summarized in two words. no excess. Or you want to summarize in a single word? Moderation. Moderation is the best policy. Idanim yoginaha aharadi niyamaha uchyate. Certain rules about food and sleep and talking, etc. are mentioned now. Niyamaha uchyate. Kasmin vishaye aharadi vishaye. In the matter of food and such things. नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन अति अश्नतः आत्मसंवित् let me go to Bhashya later. Ati means excess. There is a saying, Ati sarvatra varjayet. In some Subhashita which ends with that expression, Ati sarvatra varjayet. One must avoid excess everywhere. I remember long back I had shared that with a couple of my notes with the group, and somebody asked, why is it said in the Subhashita, one should not be too beautiful also? There was something of that kind, shloka. One should not be excessively beautiful. What is wrong in being excessively beautiful? It's not in one's choice. God has created somebody excessively beautiful. Where is the question of should or should not? The shloka doesn't say go and disfigure yourself, go and do something injuring yourself that you don't look good. That's not the point. The point is, if you are excessively beautiful, then there can be trouble. Many people are after you. Everybody is, attracted to you, or they want to get closer to you, and so on. Years ago, I was in Los Angeles taking a walk in a beautiful garden. I remember. So there was a young lady with me whose parents had migrated to United States. And this young lady was in college those days. Now she is, I'm in touch with her, mother of 3 children, or some of them going to college and whatnot. So the young girl in college was giving me company. I was so new in America. So she was taking me around and showing the garden, the park, and there was a beautiful library also in the middle of that park. Okay, those details are not important. The girl was in between talking. I was also asking, how are your studies? Are your teachers good at the college? This girl, going by, the usual norms of how people look at beauty, this girl, at least in her own eyes, wasn't so pretty as many other girls in the class, I believe. She said to me with sorrow in her voice, "Ah, teachers are good, but they give attention to the pretty girls, not to somebody like me." I was really taken aback. I looked at her and said, "But you are looking good, you are nice." "No, Swamiji, that is kind of you to say so. I am not pretty as the other girls in my class, and all the teachers give so much attention to them and so on." So coming back to the Subhashita, Ati Sarvatra Varjayet, you may ask in this example also, what is wrong if young boys and teachers and others give a lot of attention to somebody who is beautiful? Watch out. Any such injustice, any such imbalance, any such partiality very soon will jeopardize the harmony, the peace, the good relationships. Even as you bask in the sunshine of attention that you get, there will be some people who will be jealous of you, who will be sharpening their swords to attack you one day. History is replete with examples of how pretty queens, pretty princesses, and other pretty young ladies were dragged into deep trouble. Wars were fought, and whatnot. Therefore, not that you should make yourself less beautiful in some way. You should be aware if you are very pretty. You should be aware. If you are very rich, you should be aware that being this excessively rich can lead to some problems. If you are excessively scholarly, it's better to be moderate. Be aware. If you are excessively scholarly, if you are excessively talented, you see such cases. Pretty soon, somebody would try to control you. There was a singer in Bangalore who came from a village. He sang so well, but he was so poor. When he came to the city of Bangalore from a village, he didn't have capacity or the earning enough to take 2 meals in a day. Then somebody came, hey, come on, you sing well. I will take full care of you. I'll organize your programs. I'll do. This fellow was so happy. That means I'll get a place to stay. I will have food to eat. I will have nice clothes to wear. What is more, I can even send some money to my parents who are poor in the village. That person was very good because he is very talented. But very soon he ran into trouble. That man who came forward to help made this boy sign a contract. And according to that contract, this boy could not sing anywhere else. The contract said, here onward, you will sing only for programs I organize. And within a few months or within a year or two, the boy felt so suffocated, so strangled. He could not sing anywhere. Anyone invites him, he has to take permission from his patron or sponsor. It's a legal document. So, Ati Sarvatra Varjaye. Luckily, that contract was for 5 years. And the boy, the moment 5 years were over, of course, he gathered enough support for himself. Otherwise, it's not easy to get out of the clutches of such people. Such people, the organizer becomes so possessive. The organizer was demanding that you sing only for me, not anybody else. So, Krishna says, if you eat excessively, you will not have yoga. Here word yoga is that higher state of consciousness. And if you do not eat at all, anashnataha, ekantam means totally. Totally you are avoiding food. Then also there is no yoga. Na ati swapna shilasya. Swapna here means going to sleep. Doesn't mean dream here. Swapna. Swapiti means one sleeps. If one sleeps a lot, one is into trouble. And one is keeping awake a lot, forcing oneself or not sticking to a certain proper hours of sleep, extending 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. one works and so on, then one cannot. One's meditation will not take place properly. Avoid excess, which also means avoid denying to yourself the food you need, the rest you need, the activities you need, the company you need. Take the middle path. A very practical advice for everyone under the sun. Bhashyakara says, Na ati ashnataha. Atma sammitam anna parimanam atitya. There is always a certain quantity your heart knows. This is the right amount I should eat. Your heart knows. Your own inner voice knows. Just because the food is tasty, sometimes you feel like eating more. Just because there is bitter gourd and food is a little distasteful to you, you sometimes tend to cut down, not eat at all. No, it is healthy. Eat it. It's well made. It's clean. It's neat. It's nourishing. It is healthy. Bitter gourd, and there are many things which are not so tasty, maybe, to most people, but they are good for health. So, there is a Atma Sammitam Anna Parimanam, the right quantity, which goes well with oneself. Don't go beyond it. Nache ekantam anashnataha. Totally avoid doing too much of fasting. Your physical health will suffer. You will become a mental case also, doing all that extreme fasting and so on. Adi Shankara quotes it probably from Shatapatha Brahmana, a certain portion in the Vedas. Yaduhava Atma Sammitamannam Tadavati Tanna Hinasti. The right quantity, avati, protects you. Na hinasti, doesn't injure you. Whereas yadbhuyaha, whatever is excess, hinasti, himsam karoti. Tad yadkaniyaha annam na tadavati. And if you eat less than what is the right quantity, tat na avati, then it cannot protect you. You want food to protect you, then the food should be of right quantity. Iti shrutehe, because he has said shruti, it's not from Mahabharata or Ramayana, it should be Vedas. And a learned commentator on Shankara Bhāshya writes in brackets in my book, Shatapatha Brahmanam Kim? Question mark. The learned scholar also is not sure whether it is from Shatapatha Brahmana. Brahmana here means a portion of the Vedas. Tasmad yogi na atmasammitat annat adhikam nyunam va ashniyat. A yogi, a spiritual seeker who is now in advanced stages, should not, for heaven's sake, either overeat or undereat. Or there could be another specific meaning here. Adi Shankaracharya writes, Athava yoginaha yoga shastre paripatitat annam anna parimanat atimatram ashnataha yoga nasti. Rather than just giving a general expression, Atma Sammitam, what is appropriate to you, the reference could be to certain norms set by Yoga Shastra. What has Yoga Shastra said? Uktam hi, it is rightly said. Ardham savyanjanannasya pratiyam udakasya cha vayo sancharanartham tu chaturtham avasheshayet. Vyanjana annasya. Anna, along with Vyanjana, some vegetables, this and that, some spice. Anna is food. Food which includes vegetables, spices, and so on. Take that to fill half your stomach. Then, if you think of 4 quarters, half means 2 quarters are over. Tritiyam, the Tritiya Pada, Udakasya cha. The drink you take, water, buttermilk, or some food itself is in liquid form, water goes in. Let all that water cover 1 quarter. So 3 quarters are over. How do I fill the 4th quarter? Don't fill the 4th quarter. Vayo sancharanartham. This must be like a thumb rule. Vayo sancharanartham chaturtham avashesham. Leave it blank. Do not fill your stomach fully with everything, neither solids nor liquids. Solids, liquids that you eat all together should be only 75%. Chaturtham padam avasheshayet. One must leave it. And in a manner of saying, vayo sancharana. It has its own meaning. Please don't imagine wind blowing in your stomach. But sancharana is, language is like that. Sancharana is not like the way wind blows in open space. Here the idea is there is certain free space. Following chemical reactions within the stomach, things move. And there should be enough space for things to move. Liquids and solids and gases, they move in their own fashion. They mix and again lead to some other chemical and so on. This is what we call Yoga Shastra guidance. Ityadi parimanam. Parimana means size, portion. Today medical science tells everybody, it's not just about what you eat, but be mindful of portion size. Diabetics are told, yes, you may take an apple, but take only half an apple. Don't eat a whole apple. Some portion size. Parimanam. In some languages, parimana and then the word pramana also means quantity, like in Kannada. The Kannadiga uses the word pramana, means quantity. When I first went to North India, I was trying to use Hindi. To somebody I said, Praman thoda kam karo, decrease the quantity. Then I came to know, Hindi pramana means authority, means of knowledge. Pramana means some kind of evidence. Kya kahna chahiye? Then I learned the word matra. North India, they use the word matra. Kam matra mein dalo. Kam matra mein le lo. Matra is quantity. Anyway, that problem is with the word pramana. In Karnataka, I don't know about other South Indian languages, quantity is pramana. Anything, food or talk or this or that. So here Shankara has not used the word pramana. Maybe the word pramana has the meaning quantity in Sanskrit too. See, every word has multiple meanings. Certain particular regions use particular meaning highlighted. They leave the other meanings to the back bench. So these are regional differences. Sanskrit would have a word like pramana or parimana with 10, 12, 15 meanings. So go back to parimana. That's what Shankaracharya uses. Parimana unambiguously means quantity. Tata nacha ati swapnashilasya, coming to sleep. If one is sleeping all the time, that is all the time meaning every time get after lunch some sleep. After dinner a little sleep and then one wants to get up and do some work. After breakfast also some sleep. We had one elderly brahmachari in Bangalore many years ago. Poor man, his health also I think was a bit poor. He was weak. He was like that. He would try to read some Vedanta. I lived with him for a year or so. I would see, he was in one room, I was in another room. I would see, oh, Brahmachari ji is reading Bhajagovindam, very good. And after some time, after finishing some of my work, I would again look at him, maybe wanting to ask him some question. What will we have for lunch or something? I find Brahmachari is fast asleep, 11 o'clock or so, on the table itself, where you had Bhajagovindam. Poor man. Then I would go near him and softly say, calling out his name, do you want some tea? Some tea will be very good, he would say. So on. So he had not apparently managed his health in his younger days. That's how it was happening like that. So whatever it is. Too frequently one needs 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour rest. What is that? There's something wrong with way you have developed habits. It's partly habits, partly the parameters of your health. So, atishwapnashilasya yogaha na bhavati, atimatram jagratah. Oh, I meet a lot of people who force themselves to stay awake, and that is how they are not fresh, or they make a lot of mistakes. My favorite example being, though it may not really happen so much, but I have cooked up this example. Making pramada. Mistakes means instead of adding sugar in coffee, they put some salt, make coffee and give to their guest. Take this coffee. One sip, and the guest says, why is it salty? Oh, wait, I'll make another cup. But why did you make that mistake? You did not give yourself the required sleep. Either it is some kind of notion you have about sadhana, or it could be that eagerness to finish another piece of work, complete one more item in your list of things to do, that you went up to 2:30 a.m. Felt good about it at that time. Next morning, you cannot even open your eyes properly. In your talk, in your writing, in your transactions, in many things, you make mistakes. Therefore, atimatram, Shankara uses the word matra here for quantity. Atimatram jagrataha yogo bhavati. So, it is self-explanatory. And this very teaching is summarized in a beautiful shloka that is coming up, which is more quoted, more popular everywhere. The great teaching of moderation. Yuktahara viharasya, yuktacheshtasya karmasu, yuktasvapnavabodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkha. Yukta here means moderate. Yukta literally means what is appropriate. Yuj means to join. And here the etymology is such. What fits in well? As there is an expression in English for something that doesn't fit well. What is that? A square peg in a round hole. The hole is round and your piece of wood called peg is square. Neither a square peg would fit in a round hole, nor a round peg will fit in a square hole. So, na yujyate. Yuj means to fit, to join, to sit well somewhere. Whereas, if it is a round peg in a round hole of the same size, it goes and sits. So, that's an analogy. Likewise, if the quantity of food that we take fits into our true requirement, Atma Sammitam, as the word was used in the Bhāshya, then that ahara is yukta. Vihara also. Some people do too much of socializing. They want to be there at every party, every get together. If they are not invited to some party, they feel even hurt. Though the other party has not invited you for a good reason. Last 3 occasions they had invited you. This time they have invited another bunch of people. After all, they have some space issue. So, they have nothing against you. They haven't invited you because this party is going to be held in a small hall. It can take 50 people. So they made a list of short listed But those who are attached to too much vihara, every evening, where shall we go now? Who has invited us? Or they invite people, partying. Then they feel hurt. Yuktahara, yukta vihara. Keep your activities also moderate. Now, who decides what is moderate? That is honest introspection. Honest introspection. You must watch yourself. If the balance in your life has gone to the winds because you are meeting so many people, joining get-togethers everywhere and so on, then reduce it. Sometime you may discover that you have avoided get-togethers to an excessive extent. Some meeting people is required. So strike the balance, true to your conscience, listening to people's advice with no bias or no prejudice. Then you will know what is you. You can't make standard rules for all. There was some Chinese proverb with which I disagree, but I believe there is a Chinese proverb. How many hours should one sleep? It was said 6 hours for men, 7 hours for women, and 8 for fools. And there was some saying. But he wrote it, it has some popularity. That kind of men and women, etc., gender bias is not acceptable these days. We have to be careful. It's not fair. It's not the right to generalize. That women are like this, men are like this, these people are, South Indians are like this, North Indians are, Bengalis are like this. Hold on, hold on. Do you know all the Bengalis? Have you seen a number of women, or you saw one or two women behaving in a certain way and then you generalize? Those who generalize without proper care are not wise. So, Yukta Swapna, Yukta Cheshta activities, the sleep, keeping awake. When one is moderate, then it is said, one's sorrow goes away. Dukkha, Dukkam Hanti. Such a yoga, such a way of living, Sri Krishna goes beyond meditation here. Such a way of living is right living. And in that right living, Dukkam Hanti. That right living kills or eliminates sorrow from one's life. We'll see the Shankara Bhāshya in the next class. Meanwhile, if there is any question, you may express it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.